Hi guys, how are you? Today we will continue our lecture number 3, part number 2. This is discussed in the previous lectures that we have many HSC tools which are required to maintain a good safety culture in organization. So this lecture is about to another safety tool which is called job safety analysis, and it is incorporated with the PTW. Whenever you generate a PTW, there is a mandatory requirement that you have to generate a JSA or job safety analysis. As the name indicates, it is called by different names in the organization: job safety analysis, job hazard analysis, or activity hazard analysis. Each of these three names have the same purpose. So, as the name indicates, when you go through this observation that this name defines as job safety analysis, it is that analysis which make your job safer. Job hazard analysis, that whatever the hazards in your job, they are analyzed and the control measures implemented to control the risk and the hazards. Activity hazard analysis, whenever you're doing an operation in an organization, there are a lot of activities which are running and going on, which making the process continuous. So every part of the job has some hazards which need to be rectified, which need to be make a remedy action against them, and to make a control measures to perform the job in a safe manner, and to bring the risk and the hazards to to a level of called LARP. The LARP is called as LARP. LARP. This LARP means as low as reasonably practicable. Means you make the job too much safer that you can implement it or perform it practically in the real life. So actually, what is the job safety analysis, or the job hazard analysis, or activity hazard analysis? Its definition is breaking down the job into sequence of steps. First of all, you have one specific job, many processes are involved, and you have to break down each step into sequence, not without a sequence. Just like right now, I am doing the training of HSE tools with a sequence. First of all, we go through the PTW, now we comes towards the JSA. So like this, you have to calculate the job steps and to bring them in a sequence. Then you can go through the further steps. So this is the original definition of the JSA, that breaking down the job into the sequence of steps, and then calculate the hazards against each steps and the risk against each steps, and to perform the control measures and to apply the control measures to make the job safer. But before going through all these procedures, first of all, we need to know about what is the hazard and what is the risk. In the previous lectures, I have told, when I give the information about the HSE glossary. So right now I am again revising this thing, that what is a hazard. Hazard is that thing which has a potential to cause the harm. Actually, it has the potential that it can cause the harm, but it not actually cause an accident. But it has a potential to cause the harm. A risk. What is risk? Risk is severity of the hazard into its probability. When you multiply these both factor, severity and the probability of the factor, then you can get the risk. For example, before I give the example in our previous lectures, I will give again, revise or remind you again this example, that what is the risk. For example, you have an extension wire, and you have extended it on the floor. Once time I get an entangle with that wire, and I am have to fall, and I'm about to fall, but actually I'm not fall. So first time, second time, third time, fourth time, maybe you get an entangled and you fall down on the ground. You get an injury, maybe injury to your leg, maybe injury to your hand or finger or your body. So this is called the risk. So when the hazards are not controlled, the risks are rising, 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 and rising, and it will result to a major accident. So for the JSA, I take the example of simple uh, car traveling on the road, and when it is traveling on the road, the tire of the car got punctured. But before coming to this example and coming to these all steps and all of this format, I need to let you know the purpose is to reduce the risk. The scope, it is implemented all over in the activities which you are performing in an organization. Okay, So now, right now, for understanding this all of the JSA in the simple manner, I take the example of traveling to a place in your car and your car had a tire puncture. This is a scenario. You are traveling on the road and your car got a puncture. So you not immediately remove the tire and immediately fix the tire and go on the roadway again. You have to go through a sequence of steps. First of all, the first step is I have mentioned over here in the job steps, parking the car. When going on the road, you have a tire puncture in the middle of the road. So you try to change the car tire on the same road? No, you will park it properly. So what is the hazard in this thing? If you not park your vehicle in the safe way or in the safe location or in the parking area, other road users behind the vehicle, some cars are also coming behind you. They will get a collision with you. You got to have a road accident. So what you need to do? What is the risk? Collision with the vehicles, I have told you. Hazard? The other road users who are coming behind the vehicle. Risk? Collision. Control measures: park the vehicle properly and switch on the hazard light. The hazard lights, the double indicators. As you know, in the inside every there is one red button with indicator sign, and you have to press it on. The flashers of the car start blinking. So this is the first step. Second step is taking out the tools from the car back. You open your car bag, you have your tire, you have your tools. In the tools you have jack and spanners. So whenever you're taking out the tools from the back, there is a chance that there is a chance there is a chance, as I told you, that hazard is has a potential to cause them. On the back of the car, you go down and you go up, you have a hit on your head, have a chance of hit on your head. Okay, you are taking out the tire from the car back, you have the chance to have the back injury. You are taking out your jack, the jack is very heavy. You're taking out it, maybe you get a wrong technique to lift it up, or the jack is stored at some at place where you have to go a little more down. When you are taking it out, you can have a back muscle pull, you have back injury. So what is this? Pinching, crushing. Hazard. What is the pinching, crushing? When you are putting back the car back down, you may have a chance that your hand comes in the back of the car. You got punch your thumb, you can have a punch your finger, you can have punch, or you can have a crushing. Crushing means that your finger is damaged. Your finger got an injury. Finger injury. The risk involved is what? Finger injury, hand injury. What you can do while opening and closing the back, you must take proper concentration. You do not involve in other concentration works. You have to properly maintain your concentration on opening your car back, taking out the tools from the car back and putting them back. This is your major concentration. Do not take other factors in your mind, because if you do, your concentration will be gone and you can have a chance of pinching and crushing, and you can have a finger injury as a risk and a hand injury. Next, we will go for removing the car tire using the jack and spanner. Now the next step is to move up the car using the jack and use the spanner to open the nuts of the car to remove the tire. So let's suppose that you haven't checked before you traveling on the road, your jack is not working properly, you cannot lift your car. Or even though your jack lifts the car, but it is leak. If it is hydraulic, if it is hydraulic, it is leak. Leak, the car immediately comes down. Maybe you are under the car, you have an injury. What are the risks involved? Human injury. When you are using the spanner, if you are not using the spanner with the proper technique, you can have a back injury. If your spanner slips, you can have a hand injury. If the spanner's inside threads, inside position where you put the nut is not good, or your nuts are slip, so how can you manage it? It will result in the risk. So before traveling on the road, before going for a long journeys, you have to properly check your car. check your car equipments, tools which are mandatory, inspection of the vehicle. Later on, we will tell you the rule how to check the vehicle inspection, how to perform a vehicle inspection, how to conduct a vehicle inspection. So, injury to the hand or car slips not lifted, the risk. Hazards are different, risks are different. Again, I'm defining it. Remember that hazard is something which has a potential to cause the harm. If the hazard is not removed at a particular time, at a specific location, with the specific tools to make a remedy for it, you can have a risk. The risk can be in the situation of minor, major, or catastrophic, or a fatality. So you must need to first of all go through the hazards calculation. Then you can easily get the consequences of the risks which are involved or the results of the hazards which are involved in the operational job. And then you can apply the control measures, which are the best control measures to apply the safe practices for the operational activity. Replacing the new tire. When you're replacing the tire, you haven't checked your stepney, the spare tire. The spare tire is punctured. So what you can do right now? You don't have another tire. Before I told you that whenever you're going for a long journey, you must have a look over your vehicle's equipment, your spare tires, and the proper inspection of the car so that you might not get any kind of trouble during your traveling. Also, this is back injury. Replacing the new tire, I have told you before, the back injury. Because you are not following the proper lifting techniques. Because this tire is not so light in weight, it is very heavy. So you need to maintain a proper control using the proper lifting techniques to replace it and to remove it and to place it back in the back of the car. The last thing, going back on the road. When you are going back on the road, you are taking another lane, you didn't see any vehicle which is behind you. This vehicle comes and had a collision with you. You are not using the proper traffic rules, you are not using the proper driving techniques which are required. Later on, we will discuss about the DTC, how to drive a car on the road, what are the normal factors, what are the hazards involved in the traveling and defensive when driving on the road. So you need to first of all just have an idea that you when you are traveling on the road, you have to maintain the traffic rules which are very important. Sometimes signboards are coming on the road, sometimes the speed limits are coming on the road, sometimes the other road users on the road, sometimes rush in the cities when you're crossing the cities. So these are the risks which are involved while traveling to the on the road. So just take a simple example for your clear understanding. When you go in the organization, there are many jobs which are running. So when you perform these jobs, so you can easily calculate the hazards. But for this, you must have an idea about the job. If you don't know about the job, you cannot calculate the hazards. You must have a clear idea of what is the process going on, what are the steps involved in this job, and how you can control these hazards to a minimum level. So, knowing the job is very important before conducting a JSA. So, I hope so that you understand this JSA with a simple example. And this is everywhere the same format: job steps, the hazards, the risk, and the control measures. These are everywhere. The same format is used in the JS in every organization, and this is the total safe system of work which you can apply during your any job or operational activity. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the cooperation and support, and I hope so that you subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. And also, I need your question and answers to be performed for these lectures so that I can easily reply if you have any queries and if you have any problems during the lecture, because I understand that when you are giving the lectures, it's not easy to understand at the same time. So you have many queries which are coming in your mind. So please kindly reply me back with these queries. Thank you.